And we are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the latest edition of EsportsEDU. For those of you who are unfamiliar, EsportsEDU is our latest live stream series at DePaul Esports, where we reach out to different leadership figures in the communities of our many different games that we have featured at DePaul Esports. I am your host, Matt Burkholtz, but otherwise known as Matt Beach, and today I have Jack, would you be able to, or also known as Schwa, to many of you, I'm sure. Jack, would you be willing to introduce yourself really quickly?
Hi, I'm Jack Schwa Van Horn. I am the leader of the JV team at D-Smash and former head tournament organizer for our tournaments.
Yeah, Jack has actually been involved with the Super Smash Brothers scene at DePaul University for a pretty good amount of time by now. It's pretty funny to think, but we're actually both veterans of the scene at this point. To those of you who are unaware, I myself am also part of the leadership board at DePaul University Smash Brothers Club, D-Smash, and I'm actually the leader of the varsity team. So we have the varsity and the JV over there, the JV squad leaders, both in one place right here. So really quickly, before we get started with the interview and the discussion about what it's like to be a part of the Smash Brothers community at DePaul, a quick reminder: this and every other episode of EsportsEDU at DePaul is sponsored by HyperX. They've offered us some very nifty quadcast microphones to use for these, just to make sure that you can hear my voice loud and clear, as well as every other interviewer, Tom and Alex, the other two interviewers. Make sure you can all hear us nicely and clearly. So without further ado, let's get to discussion here. So let's see. For the first question, let's just start off with the basic stuff. What is D-Smash? What is the DePaul Smash Brothers scene? I know it's a little bit different from a lot of other esports. So what is it? Like a brief history. What do you remember?
Okay, so it started actually pretty close to when we got here. So the first tournament that I know of was Geek Till Dawn 2015, and then the first official Smash Fest was February 16th, 2016. And then we got here September 2016. So we started off with Smash 4 and Melee. And then obviously Ultimate came out. We moved on to that. Melee's been trucking along, doing its own thing. And so the team got formed pretty recently, this year, give or take.
Yeah, that was definitely a much more recent addition to kind of the organization. For a long time, I know that there's probably a few newer students probably watching this, whether it's through the live stream or through the the video on demand. I know nowadays it's we have a lot of organized team tournaments against other schools, especially EGF, which we'll talk about a little bit more later. But back in the day, that's what I remember too. You and I both were freshmen in 2016, and the club was around before then, but it was very, it was a club. It was people that just got together to play the game, just to hang out, and that was what really made it special back then. It was just the place for people to enjoy the game, regardless of regardless of how good or not as good you might have been at either Melee or at the time Smash 4, at that time period.
Yeah.
So next on our lineup here, what's kind of the structure of the team and by extension the community here? How do we how do we keep things running here? I guess is what you could say as board members.
Okay, so at the most general level, there are two groups of people who enter our tournaments. There's the DePaul students and there's the invaders. The DePaul students generally break down into one of three groups. There's the varsity team, there's the junior varsity team, and then there's the people who aren't on any team. So generally, our tournaments are open to everyone, except with some limited exceptions where it's restricted to DePaul students only. But overall, I think we're generally looking to be more available to everyone for these tournaments.
Yeah, I can agree. That's a good way of putting it. We try to we try to structure our events to the point where like, keeping things inclusive to everybody is a big deal. Kind of like carrying on that energy of like when the club was like first founded back in say like 2015, maybe like late 2014 if my memory serves me right. But I want to say it was like early 2015. Kind of keeping that like same energy where it's just like, anybody can come in and just like enter tournaments, like show off what they got, learn new stuff from other people, provide insight of their own. It's very much like community. It's very community focused. So I think that's a good way of putting it. But speaking of like teams, we can talk about those for a little bit. So we've got two teams. We have varsity and JV. Can you tell us a little bit about the since I could talk about the varsity roster myself, but did you want to kick us off by talking about the JV roster?
So our JV roster is made up of me, Shadow, Cap3, Foshizzle, Legacy, Turbo, Oni, and Caleb. Caleb's currently on break, but he's still part of the team. So I think we're all really we're a good group of team players. I think if once we start competing and stuff, I think we'll start taking names, especially Oni. Oni's really good. Oni and Legacy are currently our crown jewels of the junior varsity team.
Yeah. Oni's been making a lot of waves. Oni in specific has definitely been making a lot of waves, not just at not just amongst like us at DePaul, but like even against like other schools. Like there was like there's been other tournaments that are going on like around Chicagoland that he enters and he does pretty well. He actually hosts his own Tech Chase. It happens every Thursday. It's a quick plug for you right there. Anybody trying to enter something fresh every week. And I've definitely noticed a lot of improvement from the JV roster, just like in terms of like how good everybody has been able to like, kind of like refine their skills at the game, like and like their understanding of like different matchups. I've definitely noticed a lot of polish. And I think part of that is because of something pretty unique about you all over at JV, and it's how you actually all have like organized practices. Did you want to discuss those a little bit?
Yeah. So generally, our goal, since it's junior varsity and we don't really have an organized league that we're in week after week going for points, our goal for junior varsity is more developing talent, which is why I have some people like Foshizzle and Turbo there who I see a lot of potential in. So we're looking to improve. The main way we've been looking to do that is practicing every week. Generally, we match up with someone and play for around 2 hours, at least once a week. We have coaches. We have Wumbo. We have Omsky who point out specific things that we can work on, introduce general concepts that we want to improve our understanding of, like, for example, like working on tomahawk grabs, walking, how to implement walking into our play. Littler things like that are what we're looking to improve on mostly.
Yeah, that's really great. The fact that the JV team has like a resource that's so good as like having like a whole like being able to like help each other out, whether it's through like having the coaches like giving each other advice or like just I've even noticed people just playing against each other, like just two JV players, and then they're able to provide information that's like valuable, whether it's like matchup information or just fundamentals. They can they can provide that information to each other, and it's like a group it's like a mutual sense of improvement, which is really, really great.
Yeah.
Now, I know you mentioned a little bit before we get into like what varsity's been up to as far as like EGF. I know you've mentioned a little bit about like how it's important that we improve as a team, and it's because like even though Smash Brothers tournaments are generally played in like a 1-versus-1, occasionally like a 2-versus-2 style format, we have you listed, what was it, like 6 or 7 players, right? So that's a little bit more than 1 or 2. So is that so like can you give us a quick rundown of like what crew battles formats are like? Like how do like larger team competitions work for a game like Smash Brothers, which is usually a 1-versus-1 or 2-versus-2 esport.
Okay, so for more team-based things in Smash Bros, there are two general types. There's the successive sets where players match up with someone from an opponent team and they play sets against each other, and then whoever wins gets points or whatever. And then there's the crew battle format where each player has a set number of stocks, and then those stocks carry over between matches, and then they keep playing until one team is completely out of stocks.
Yeah, so it's it's very much like kind of like each team has like an equivalent finite resource of extra, like, to those who aren't aware, like stocks are like extra lives. So it's like having like that finite resource of extra lives that's shared between everybody on the team. So you have to you kind of have to make sure that you're sending in your player at the right time to face off against the one right opponent, making sure that the matchup is like in your favor so you don't lose too many off of one player, and the inverse of that as well.
Yeah.
So that's kind of that kind of transitions to like what varsity has been doing. As we mentioned, like putting these teams together has been a very recent event. So so we're still getting our feet wet in terms of like getting involved in different competitions. The different there's been a couple of different tournaments that have come up over the past few months, I would say. But I think the biggest one that we're involved in right now with the varsity team is EGF, which is short for Electronic Gaming Federation, which is a tournament series where we on the varsity team play, which is actually yours truly, Bobby Time, Ikaro, Cookie, Ego, and ADR is our roster of 7, along with our coach Wumbo. All of us, we go ahead and play against different teams across pretty much all across the nation. A lot of them on the East Coast. We actually go against the University of Hawaii as well, and we play in these 5-versus-5 crew battle formats with specifically the points format system that Jack was talking about earlier. So that's been very exciting. Our season kicks off today, or not today, this week is what I meant to say. Specifically tomorrow, we're going to be going up against Marquette at 3:30, and then Georgetown actually at 9:30. So we have a double header. We're going to be very, very busy tomorrow. So it'll be really great to catch the stream for that. You can check it out. You can check us out in the Discord, in the DePaul Esports Discord server. Everything's going to be posted there as far as schedules and match updates. So yeah, there's a lot going on in terms of like what the teams have been up to. There's definitely a lot going on the horizon. Like I mentioned, we're still getting our feet wet with competitions. So as far as varsity and JV are both concerned, there's still plenty of stuff that we're going to try and get ourselves involved with, as like the months go on, as things change, as new tournaments start to pop up. But, everybody starts somewhere, right? Not everybody just walks right in and is instantly just capable of, playing on the team right away. At some and like we mentioned, like the teams themselves are a recent addition. So like, how can somebody that is watching this broadcast right now get involved with, Smash? What can they do to get involved with the DePaul Smash scene?
Well, Smash has a lot of stuff available right now. We got the Twitter account. We got the Discord. We have the Facebook group. Used to be a lot more active, but it's still there. And then we have the weekly tournaments for Smash Ultimate every Friday at 6. And then we have the weekly Rivals of Aether tournaments that I recently started. Those have been great. Those don't have as set a time, but trust me, they will be every week.
Yeah, I think that's a good way of putting it. Is that now that we've transitioned to online, things are a little bit different. Back in the day, everything was kind of in person. We would host our tournaments at the Student Center more often than not. Actually, the one in Lincoln Park campus. Now that things are online, it's left us with a lot of limitations as far as what we can do, but also a couple of strengths. But since now we can kind of look into like different events and different games that we could host tournaments for. So Rivals of Aether is definitely one that's been Rivals of Aether, which for those of you who aren't aware is an indie project that was started kind of like inspired by the Smash Brothers series, specifically like more on the melee side of things with like a really fast paced, like movement focused action. We've hosted tournaments for these games specifically. Jack here has been really leading the charge with that. It's a really exciting game. And it opens up, it just opens up like more avenues for people to get involved that might not be, super akin to like one Smash game or the other. Now they have just that many more options to find a way to get involved. So, yeah, I think that pretty much wraps things up. I mean, that talks about pretty much everything as far as like what we're doing as a community. Tournaments might be the most important thing that we do for the most part, or at least like the most well-known, I think, thing that Smash is involved in these days. But, we still have like a really robust community to begin with. If anybody wants to take a look at what our community has to offer, they can hop over to the DePaul Esports or the DePaul Esports Discord server listed right below. And through there, you can actually find the DePaul Smash Brothers server over on the DePaul Discord channel. DePaul Discord channel. I think I got it right there. So right over there, it'll be listed right there. You can hop on in. Anybody is welcome to come by and say hello, especially alumni. We always love welcoming, people that have been a member of the DePaul community in the past and have just started to realize, oh, wait a minute, they have a Smash Brothers scene. I really want to check this out. You are absolutely welcome just as much as anybody else is. We have a great time there, whether it's talking about games, playing them, or, trying to plan ahead for our new competitions. So, Jack, do you have anything else you wanted to say in regards to, what's coming up next for DePaul Esports? Something else you wanted to mention about, what we've been up to, or just, other ways that people can get involved that we haven't talked about already?
No, I think that's about it from my side.
All right, that sounds great. Once again, if you are willing to cheer on the DePaul squad, but aren't quite willing to like participate in tournaments quite yet yourself, everybody's welcome to our tournaments. But if you just want to watch us play, once again, DePaul Esports team, the varsity team, is going to be playing in EGF tomorrow. So that's Skull Kid, Bobby Time, Ego, Ikaro, Cookie, and of course, yours truly, Matt Beach, and then ADR. The 7 of us are going to be playing tomorrow. We're going to be choosing some combination of 5 of us to play, and it'll be a great time. You can find all of that once again in the Discord server. Everything will be posted there under the announcements channel and under the match updates channel. And yeah, until next time, once again, thanks so much to HyperX for sponsoring us with this really nice, almost like a decorative piece here, microphone. It's a really great product. I've been making a lot of use of it so far. I think it's really great. And yeah, just before we cut out, we're going to go ahead and play a quick ad showcasing the Quadcast microphone, just really quickly for everybody. And yeah, until next time, Jack, thank you so much for hopping on the mic with me and talking about Smash Brothers with me. Really appreciate it. It's been a great time talking about it.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
All right, great. All right, then once again, we will see you all next time. The next EsportsEDU, whenever it's ready, we will announce it on Discord and through our social media channels. So make sure you keep posted to those. All right, hope you all have a great evening. Catch you around.